Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Bison Video Blog, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual with Jeff Kolpack. I'm Dom Izzo. North Dakota State now starts November with a home game with Youngstown State. The Bison will not leave the state of North Dakota, Jeffrey, for the final month of the year with 3 home games and a trip north up to Grand Forks to take on UND. Let's just start with that the schedule, I'm not saying it opens up considering they have this game Saturday and a biggie, but after 3 games out of 4 on the road in October, now here's an opportunity for the Bison to close out the year.
Well, let's start with 2 trips out east. I
Yep.
mean, you start in Charleston, South Carolina, then you go to Tennessee the next week, then you get up playing Illinois State a couple weeks later. Yeah, it changes a little bit, but sometimes I wonder, these kids are young. Do they really care whether they're on a plane or on a bus? I think in some cases it's easier to get on a plane and go to Nashville than it is to bus to Sioux Falls, then an hour to Brookings the next day to play.
Or like Terre Haute, fly to Terre Haute, then take an hour bus ride to Indianapolis.
Indianapolis,
Fly to Indianapolis and then bus to Terre Haute on the day of the game. I am mandated to say it since the game is being played on November 1st that we remember November football, right? As Craig Bull told me.
We cannot go in November without mentioning Craig Bull. Forever will be known as the Remember November guy. But it's true. I mean, it's true. And now you get down to there are a few teams now fighting for playoff spots, and the team coming in this week, Youngstown, is certainly one of them at 5-3 overall. They're looking for that signature win, and this is a chance for them to do it. And they've done it before here. They've come in here and won in Fargo. They've done it with some pretty dynamic quarterbacks over the years, I think, and some good defense. They have one of the best quarterbacks, Dom.
We'll get to him
talk about
here.
Kolpack, but Beau Brungard is pretty good too.
Let's shower the Bison here because a huge win Saturday with an experienced team that they are. Is there? I'll ask you those, sports reporter cliche. Is there an emotional letdown that could be in store for this game, knowing full well what's ahead next week in Grand Forks?
Well, I guess has there been yet? I mean, I guess we haven't seen any evidence. And you talk to anybody across the country in this situation. It's about the coaching, okay? It's not letting these players go think about how good they are and not let any detail go unnoticed. I think if you were to go to practice, and we usually don't during the season because that's just the way it is, but if you go to practice now, I would bet any detail that goes, they don't let anything go. I mean, yeah, you're 8-0, and I get it, but as we evidenced with Ryan Babbitt's, the true freshman playing at left tackle last week in 28 snaps, that they're looking ahead. They're continuing trying to make.
They're tinkering.
Yeah. And I think an issue with a team that is 8-0, one of the issues it could be is you're just coasting. You can't let that happen.
No, and I'm interested here. A couple personnel moves are going to have to be made. Start with Mekhi Collins, who his injury kept him out of the game against South Dakota State. There has to be determination there, either if he's going to come back or if he's going to be shut down at wide receiver. I look at linebacker depth, and I know we've talked about this probably for a decade, because Kopp, Staling, and Woolen were in the game late when the game was decided. That, to me, and Austin Altepeter got injured, had an ice pack on his left knee. Ray James is likely heading for a season-ending surgery. That leaves you with Peter Haugo. They're going to need Alex Elliott, who we thought was done for the year, to come in, and maybe another true freshman, Gavin Sell, might be playing as a backup linebacker here.
Well, and there's something we'll have to ask tomorrow, the head coach. But, Peter Haugo, I think, has shown pretty well in the time he's been in there. So I think he could play probably both outside spots like most can, although I know he's a redshirt freshman, but a very smart kid. I mean, one of those high intelligent guys. Probably can play both. Alex Elliott's interesting because they had hopes on him playing right away. And I think you're going to see him in the next couple of weeks, I believe.
And here's the thing on this as well. Now there's 4 games left. So if you're a true freshman, haven't played yet, now you can do it and still keep your eligibility because remember, the playoffs don't count. So now if they need a guy, Jeffy, they could go and do that here over the last month. I think so. I really do. I think if there comes a time where they know that Ray's out and Altepeter might be out, that they're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off and say, you're going to have to play because we don't have anybody else right now to go and do it.
Yeah, and then forever, though, NDSU has really not counted a lot of depth at linebacker.
We've done this story time and time again.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. They'll go to those 3 guys until somebody can't play. So I just don't see that being a big deal at this point, but something to keep your eye on.
I would say keep an eye on going forward. You mentioned Babbitt's. True freshman that likely is going to get more reps at left tackle. Just soak that in for a minute, folks, that he came in, and it wasn't in blowout time. It was in the first quarter, second quarter against South Dakota State. They moved Bo Johnson to left guard, and they moved Griffin Empey to right guard, that we could see this going forward starting this coming Saturday.
Well, is this Billy Turner all over again? Because Billy Turner came in 2010, started as a true freshman. And this is not a spot you take lightly. It's really, I mean, I know Cole's left-handed.
It's left tackle,
man. It's the blindside spot on most teams. But it's an important spot, obviously. And, Beau Johnson was tabbed as that next big thing, too, at left tackle. But we've seen, I mean, Gray Zabel played inside, he played outside. Mason Miller played inside, played outside. So, but by all means, don't
Jalen
think that,
Sundell did that too, left tackle. Remember, he started at center, then went to left tackle.
He played everything.
Yeah.
And so, that, by no means does it mean Beau Johnson's going to be left guard. I mean, he could very well be a right tackle, too. It's just the way they operate within that system. So, but you talk about Babbitt.
This says more about Babbitt, absolutely.
Yes. Here's a guy who was a runner-up as a state wrestling tournament. He's a shot put champ in the Minnesota State track meet. This guy's an athlete. Had a Nebraska offer, and I think he came when he committed to NDSU, he's 275. Now he's 308, if not bigger, is what I understand.
Yes.
And at 6'5", the guy can move. I think they don't take these moves lightly. You just don't shove somebody in there, especially a true freshman.
No, and we talked about it early in fall camp. He was getting reps with the ones that got my attention and yours as well. Say, okay, this is different of what's happening, and obviously they think he's got the athletic ability to not only play well here, but get even better as the future goes on.
And it's a mental position too.
No doubt.
I mean, he's obviously picked up the offense. He's done well when the Bison on practice play the number one defense, which is the top scoring defense in the FCS. It's not like a bunch of chumps. So I think they know what they're doing. We'll see.
All right, so Kolpack mentioned earlier, Youngstown State comes to town. We haven't seen the Penguins in 3 years. 2022 was the last time these two teams played. The Penguins have been off the schedule. They come in at 5-3, and they got a quarterback that again should be in the conversation for maybe Missouri Valley Offensive Player of the Year in Beau Brungard. He's thrown for 13 touchdowns and nearly 1,900 yards. He's ran for nearly 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. And this past weekend, he had a receiving touchdown. This guy does everything for Youngstown State.
He does do everything. And we've talked so much about Cole Payton, and deservedly so this year. But he has better passing stats than Cole Payton does. And he's one of the top rushing quarterbacks in the country. What's that add up to?
That's a pretty good player.
He moves well. I mean, and he's a veteran guy. I mean, he sees the field well there. So this is a game where they got blown out a little bit by UND, but
this is the play I was talking about earlier. Watch, he's going to end up catching a pass, and Kolpack, he's got some wheels. He goes down this. I know it's against Murray, but
they have to do this against Murray State?
Yeah, you got to win the football game. However, you got to do it. But he's got a receiving touchdown too. He is Mr. Everything, and obviously that's going to be the focus for Grant Olson and the Bison defense on Saturday.
And absolutely, and isn't that fun when a guy comes like this comes to the Fargodome and it's that film is gonna switch your mind off of South Dakota State, I would imagine, if you're the Bison defense and you're getting ready for this team. You're like, oh wow, okay.
Well, you don't have to look back. It's now 14 years ago. Youngstown came, undefeated Bison, homecoming, spoiled the season finale, and spoiled the party with a guy named Kurt Hess, who was pretty good. That's probably the last great Youngstown State quarterback? Question mark?
Boy, you're testing me there on that one.
It's been a little bit.
But Youngstown's one of these teams that just is kind of there,
right?
Kind of not. And again, we've said it before that they are looking for that signature win.
This is Doug Phillips' fifth year, so
yeah, he's building this team as a developmental program like NDSU. He's tried to do that. Got ravaged by the portal 2 years ago, especially on defense. Had to start
after
over
they made
again.
the playoffs in 23 after that season.
And had to start over again. I like the way he approaches. Doug Phillips is a good coach. How he approaches building a program. It's a tough area in that town, you want to get a tough-minded team, a physical team. He's in the right area to do that. So this could be a really highly dynamic game.
That win they got at Illinois State to get them to the fourth win of the season. Obviously, they got to 5.
And they were behind that game by 2 touchdowns.
I think it's going to be awfully hard for them to win Saturday. If they can get to 8, I think they're going to get in. I think they might be that 5th team to get into the tournament, because that's going to be the question now going forward, because we know the Bison, the Jacks, UND are in. Who are the other 2? Illinois State, Youngstown State, and SIU. One of those teams is going to be left out of the dance, I would have to imagine.
I think you're right. And also, remember, the Big Sky has got beating each other up, too. And they got a lot of teams with 4 or more losses. So that could play. I mean, you're going to have the Big Sky of Missouri Valley will be fighting for most teams in the field. Right now, I'd give the edge of the Mo Valley.
I would, too, knowing how non-conference played out there. But Southern still has South Dakota to come up at the end of the season. We can't forget them, that they're going to be, all those teams are 5-3. SIU, Illinois State, Youngstown. Maybe they can get 6 in, but
you want to get to 8 wins.
I think so.
Yeah, 8 wins
but
gets
you
you
brought
in.
it up though on Hot Mic on Monday morning that a 7-5 team though in this league probably has a better case than many to get into the tournament.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Again, how things shake out. November. Hey, remember November?
We're gonna find out. We'll be back on the air. We got the game for you this week. Bison Game Day live at 10 a.m. from the Fargodome on Saturday morning. And then the football game at 2:30. Youngstown State, first trip here in 3 years to take on the Bison, who come in at 8-0 after their best start since 2021. That's this week's edition of the Bison Video Blog presented by Northwestern Mutual. We'll see everybody at the game on Saturday.